Alright, first up is, well, first of all, since we're up here, over there is my swamp home, one of my favourite homes I've built. I'll get down there and show you what it looks like in a moment. Since we're up here, I'm going to show you the water room. We had this nice flat surface, so I added a waterfall coming down, and while you're here you can see out. It kind of covers the entrance a little bit. A couple of flower pots here. And then here, there was nothing special about this place, but all it was, we got water falling down, making the walls. I figured it was nice. And here, we have our long bridge back to civilization. However, before we do that, I need to show you my swamp home up close. And one mistake that I've done is that I never made a proper way to get down here. I always have to struggle and fight to climb back up. But not to worry. This is a little weird thing. There was chickens in here. Like I think there was one originally, and they just kept laying eggs and more kept appearing. So I kind of leave them there and just take the eggs every time I come by. This was like not really a bridge, but a pathway in water, which is designed to keep you dry as you cross unless it rains. But I don't know, I kind of like being on level with the water. It looks kind of nice, like an indent into the water. And up here, first of all, let me just get down here to show you my swamp home. And I believe I made this before there was actually swamps in game, but as it turns out this is actually a swamp, so that was a good guess. This is one of the rare few homes I've actually decorated. In here we have the little meeting room, the desk, dining hall as you may want to call it. You can see from here, from the window, that we have the multiple waterfalls coming out the side of that cliff there. All man-made, if I recall. Again, it's been quite a long time, so I could be making that up. And we have a nice little walk around, all the way around the edge of this home. Roof keeps us dry. Bang up job. In here was my craft room. Nothing too special about it. I tried a little chandelier type thing, which turned out to be a disaster. But here's my workbenches. Got pressure plates on top of fences, give the effect of tables. I think it looks pretty nice. I've been using this a lot. A little flower pot design, detail. And up here, in the attic once again, we have our home. The way I always end up building houses, they always end up having these big spacious attics, and I can never resist not building there. So back into the drizzle. Oh Jesus, I thought those flowers were red eyes looking at me then. Oh dear. So here we have our wheat farm, all laid out nicely, same, with a nice path down the middle, basically for when you could trample crops by walking on them. However, that is not needed anymore. Not much to say about this build. It was just a weird little wooden fence tower I made, but I think it suits this little area nicely. Nice thing to look at from a distance. So out here we follow the path, and this way, and we have this like secret entrance. Now this was just like a big hole which was underneath the tower originally. I've tried to turn it around, made it into a little smuggler's den. Reason for this is, down here we had like a little cove coming in from the water, so I turned it into a dock of sorts. So from outside you can just sail the boat into here, and I think it looks pretty nice, especially now that it's raining. yeah, this is one of the things I like about Minecraft, where you can have little secret places like this. There's not much down there, not really worth showing you, I don't think. Oh, here we go. Actually, I tell a lie. This was like a little smuggler's home built down here. It was just funneling the water off elsewhere. No real purpose to that. Got a little table there. I was going to put pressure plates on top, never got around to it. So this was another unfinished area. I think one mistake I do is I build too many little areas that I never really get around to detailing out. But anyway, I need to head back to my water room to show you the bridge. Now, one of the reasons why I was proud of this little minecart bridge was because it was the first time I used redstone properly. So I have a little cart system that takes me back home. However, let me just stop that there. As you can see from here, we have the little creeper face built into the side of the wall. That was a more recent addition just because I'd been lacking in creeper faces. Now where do I need to go? There we go, we'll go to the Nomad Island. Okay, so first of all, we have a little secret entrance down here. So, pass under the bridge, come around here, and somewhere there's a entrance. Don't ask me where though. There we go. Nothing really special on the outside, it's mostly hidden, it's the inside that matters. This was just a little home I made with leaves and tree bark. I used a bit of mossy cobble as well, I figured it gave it a more natural look. And it's actually pretty well hidden. I mean, if you didn't have all the torches outside, you probably wouldn't see it at all when coming across. But yeah, I ended up liking this. I think the reason I built it was because I was kind of stranded on this island while trying to get the bridge built. Although I could be wrong. A lot of history in this world now, which I really do like. But let's head back up top. If I can get on the ladder, that is. So, what we have here, this little thing that looks like something from Lord of the Rings was just a beacon really. I seen a little patch of land which was almost a full circle, just kind of naturally formed there. I always wanted to build a tower on top, but I started building this, and I think it turned out pretty well. It definitely was not equally distributed now that I look at it, but it turned out well. And it looks better at night when you can see all the flames and fire. Aha, I need to go over there. There's the ship. If you've been watching my series, you'd have recently seen the ship built. Now that looks pretty spectacular at a distance. Probably not so much up close. However, I need to take a detour. So, we'll head over to that treehouse. Okay, here's my treehouse. It doesn't really have an entrance per se, you just have to climb the trees and hop in via the roof. I probably should have made a proper one, but I know, I was always talking about doing a treehouse and I know it was requested. So, let me just show you around. First of all, you go this way. Let's go down first. Down takes you to the bedroom. Now I think what I wanted to do with this, which I have done, is make it all like twisty and turny, like a lot of little corridors going off different directions. I always like that, it always gives a cozy feeling. So that's what we got here, and then if we go up, we have our little, I'm not really sure what to call it, little balcony you can look off. So I'm gonna just give it a quick walk over here. Climb up the ladders to the tree. And here we go, you can see all around up here. Probably not the most natural looking tree if you take a step back and look at it, that was man-made. So, I don't know, I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. My first tree house. So let's try and get down here without breaking too much. And head to the next build. Okay, what we have here is a little, I'm not sure what to call it, seafront home. I was trying to build a little house built into the side of the coast here. Now, originally I was going to do a whole bunch and make it look like a little community, but I never got that far. I'm not too happy with how it turned out. It was kind of messy and doesn't look too good at the end of it, but here we have our little bedroom. Around here, I'm being careful because I can hear nasties. So here we have kind of a little random tunnel that's still incomplete. But up here we have our trapdoor to freedom. Little escape hatch should the need arise. Such as some fool sets the wood on fire, or you know, you're trapped in there with a creeper or zombie. Although that's not going to do you much good when they come out with smarty AI. Now, we're getting close to the end of my builds anyway. I'm not sure if I built anything else. I know there's a lot of other little things such as a tower here and there and little memorial over a dungeon. These were things I built when I was lost and there's a good reason for that, because I was lost, so I'm not really going to go out there and try and find them because they could be anywhere. But I'm just going to keep going for the moment. Well, I know I literally just said that I wasn't going to bother looking for these, but upon remembering that I actually did all that hanging home and all the other builds over in the mountain area, which I'm trying to find now, I figured I'd show you what I built here. Now this was when I went out exploring one day after basically this was one of the first times I actually left my starting area and immediately became lost. So this was just something I found. I found a dungeon basically. You know, it was easy to see because of the sand was sunk in. And I think it was one of my first dungeons I'd found in this game. So I ended up digging it out and used the sand, turned it to sandstone, made this little memorial thing. In fact, here we go. Dungeon discovered 30th of the 8th, 2011. I'm glad I put the sign there, I should have done it more often. Not much in there, just some mouldy old bread and string, so I'm going to leave that there. And because this is here, that means that this direction is the tower I built. Now I built this tower because I was lost and it basically hit night time and I was in the middle of nowhere. This was pretty early on in my series. And I was on top of the peak of a mountain and I was scared. You know, we had creepers and zombies and spiders coming out the woodworks. thinking, oh yes, here's a new noob getting lost out in the middle of nowhere. Time for lunch. So let me just quickly find that. Okay, here we are. Now, this little tower was literally... This was basically just meant to be a simple shelter. I mean, the tower doesn't look particularly that good, but at the time, this was all the materials I literally had on me. So I went ahead and put together this little tower to keep me safe for the night. And it kind of serves as a waypoint now because I'm finally used to the area and know which way I'm going and so on. Just almost. So every time I see it, you know, it's a nice reminder of what I've done in the past. Down there was one of the whole gravel areas that we always seem to run past. But up next we're going to have the hanging combs, hopefully. One thing I'm really bad at is marking my way. I mean, you look at all these other Let's Plays, people have really good navigation systems. They know where to go, they know where they're built. They've got like torches and cart systems, and me, I just suck at all that. You know, I just try and head to an area and sort of stick around there for a while before moving on, which kind of bites me in the ass when I come back to do a video such as this one, but not to worry, not to worry. So yeah, here we are at the fisherman's home. Now, it's kind of funny. As you can see, it's snowing. Now, in the last patch, they added it so all pine tree biomes, it now snows there. Now, because it snows there, all this which had no snow on it at all is now going to be filled. It's going to be covered with snow. So it kind of makes my fisherman's home a little pointless because this river's going to freeze over. I mean, you still got the rain there, but literally all this is going to get frozen over. I'm not sure about the undercover here, but I just can't believe the luck. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but it's nice to be here when it happens. I thought I saw some white bits on the trees earlier. I wasn't quite sure. But anyway, here's the fisherman's home. I saw this little overhang and figured I want to build a little home inside, which I have done. Nothing too special. We've got our little swords above the door there. This was going to be a little storage area. Never really got around to finishing it. I was too busy trying to move to the next area, which was where I had all the hanging combs. So this is my dock, which is going to be frozen over. Poor boat. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Oh well. I'm going to have to turn it into some sort of... well, it depends. If it doesn't like freeze over the overhang, then you can still fish. Just won't be going boating anytime soon. But enough of that, I'm going to keep heading towards the mountains. Here we go. First up, my overhang house, or overhang home. Check out the view from the balcony, and there you can see the pine tree biome currently being covered with snow. I love the way it just changes the landscape completely. I mean, this game really needs seasons, because it would be nice to see snow. It's snow where it shouldn't do, you know, even if it's just for a while. And then this is this second floor down, or the first floor, however you want to slice it. Again, I was just messing with the windows and trying to give you a sense of how high up you were. I found making these tunnels was the easiest way to split the floors. Of course, this being the bottom one, and of course the glass floor. What else are you going to do when you're this high up? Well, for some reason in Minecraft you don't really get the sense of height. I mean, we are pretty high up, but it just... Perhaps if that went all the way to bedrock, maybe a different story. So, I ended up adding on these little brackets because it looked kind of weird with nothing else underneath it. But, I don't know, in the end this build turned out nice. I'm going to show you the other few builds I got around this area. Just over yonder here, we have our mount storage, as I like to call it, which was going to be my home base for all storage equipment and materials. However, I never really got around to building anything, so that kind of stopped that in its tracks. Now, I wanted to build a whole bunch of bridges in this area, but again, that was something I never got around to. I get too distracted. So here we are. Here is my little house. Not much to it. A similar style to what I had in the Winter Wonderland. However, this is a long... I was aiming to try and make one of those Viking longhouses, but didn't really pull it off. However, we've got lots of big windows here, so you can see all the view. So you can take in all that mountainscape. Windows. Then out here, there's this queer little rock sculpture I made. Now, I'm not quite sure what I was trying to do with this. I mean, I was trying to come up with some sort of nice feature for out here which would sit on the tip of this mountain, but I don't know, this just didn't work. In fact, out of all my builds, I'm probably least happy with this, but I'm not about to change it at this point in time. However, from here you can get a great view of my hanging comb. Now, that almost looks like a drill, to be totally honest. Maybe that's what I should have made, but I think that came out kind of well. And I do like how it's tucked in there, and it does look like it's hanging, so mission accomplished on that. I was trying to come up with some sort of design to have over the top to suspend it from in the end. I almost wanted to try and do chains, but it's hard to do chains going up, so it just became some sort of bridge going across. But if you look closely, that's why it's got the holes in the levels, which I'll just show you here. As you can see, we've got the holes going up. I was inspired by chains, but that's not really what I made. I probably should delete that. Stupid dirt blocks. So here's the entrance. Again, it's not very big in here, but what are you gonna do? Each level has windows you can see out. Again, this was supposed to be a play on glass, you know, a play on height. But you don't really sense that till you get at this level. And this is the winner, I think. And you do feel quite high up in this one, more so than the other hanging home, or the overhang home. I think it's because of the lighting, you can actually see it clearer, especially where it goes dark halfway down. Because I didn't really want to just cut it off with this flat glass surface or glass floor, you know. I did the spikes there, tapered it off. I think it looks nice, although there's not really much of a view from here. But this was the hanging home, and this was the mountains area. If you ever decide to come here with the world download, take a look around at all the mountains. They are pretty epic, probably some of the best ones I've seen in this world so far. And definitely worth building around. I do want to do more, but I'm kind of waiting for 1.2 now. However, with this latest build, I need to show you my home area, my proper home. I've built several houses, but we're getting close to my original home, which to me is home. Home. I'm just going to keep saying that till I find out where I am. So here we are. Here is my ship. Now, this was a more recent build. It was kind of a disaster, and it ended up kind of alright. This was one of my first. Well, this was the first ship I've ever built or boat. Trying to get the base shape down is tricky, but I don't know. When you're at a distance, it looks nice. At least I think it does. So let me show you what we got. Here we got the captain's quarters with no furnishing, of course. We've got nice windows, nice big back window here. I need to get some chests in here, fill it with booty. So up here we got I still need to make the wheel. I mean, I haven't really done that yet. That's kind of bad. This ship ain't going anywhere. Although we could call this a construction area. Who knows? Down here we have the bells of the ship. Nothing really in here either. You're seeing a reoccurring theme here. I build these things and never finish them. That was the difference between when I first started out and now. Hence why I want to restart my world. I'm starting to get lazy. I build these things and just move on. Like I use them and throw them away. You know, I don't like that. But you can't help it when I build. So here we have a little tower I came up with. Nothing too fancy about this. I was just building a tower, really. I had a couple of ideas for it. In fact, it goes pretty high up with the mossy cobble here and there. But up here we get a nice view of the beacon over there and the ship. But that was all that was really built in this area. I do have a couple of more things to show you all before I can wrap this 100th special up. And judging by the amount of time it's taken to get around here, I may have to save the special builds and that next time. So bear with me. Okay, we now reached the beacon. Now this was I'm not quite sure. I was just trying to build a little tower here, and I ended up making this small beacon on top. I think it works well because it's right by the bridge. And inside we got a little water design. I'll just do that where I can, fill up the space. But besides that, there wasn't really much to this. However, I do like the look of them. It reminds me of an old World War II bunker. But anyway, let's have a mosey on down here. As you can see, we've got the bridge coming across. If I could go back and remake this bridge, which I won't because, God, that took so much cobble, I wouldn't have it going over. I made the mistake of going over. This was before I put in the supports. And if I'd have realised how much effort it was going to take... Well, it wasn't even that. I put the supports in. I didn't think of nothing of it. But now I look at it, I feel like I wish that would have stayed on the same level. You know, I hate how it goes up and then across and then down. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So over here, I may as well show you this. Let me just use my old entrance here. The old diving board. Ow. I'm still carrying my minecart. Let's just plop that there. So this was my home. As you may have seen by now, I really like using cobble and wooden planks. Now, if this was regular texture pack, I'd probably be using smooth stone a lot, but that's the beauty of texture packs. And then here we have a little fancy home, a little modern home. We've got a fireplace here and big glass windows. And here's the famous squid tank. Now, I built this with the hopes a squid would spawn in here, but that's not going to happen. I may go back one day and perhaps port it over to creative mode and drop a couple of those squid eggs in there, but that's not for today. So now here we have a little balcony you can see round. Down there's the village, which I'll show you here in a moment. So we take a little step down here, up over, I'll show you this in a moment. I'm trying to find... There it is. This is our little wooden waterfall where it all accumulates into this little pond. But this is my green tunnel, as I like to call it. Very original name, as you can tell. Now all this was a way to get through the giant mountain here. Took absolutely ages digging it out, but it was worth it. But then I got lazy and didn't really finish it. Over here you can see I've got a pathway of sorts lit up by torches. But eventually we will get to our home. Now, I don't remember if it was a dream or just some idea that came to me at a really odd time, but this was a house design that I'd been wanting to do. And I mean, it's actually really simple. It's just a home. In fact, those fences shouldn't even be up there now that I look at it. I've spent ages trying to get them right, but this was just a square home with a middle, like no roof in the middle. Oh, don't want to be down there. So of course I'm stuck. Typical. But I don't know, this was a house. I like the design of it, plus it's the first time I've used birch properly. I didn't really use birch all that much. However, I might do so more because the texture looks really good with this texture pack. Same with pine tree. I didn't use pine tree all that much, but there was a difference when starting on this home. But I feel like I could have easily done this nicer. I was trying to make a curve. I have a hard time making curves in this game. I need to practice on that. That's something I'll focus on for my next set of videos, I reckon.